Hello, everyone, and welcome to today's No FOMO Charts, Stocks and Crypto TA live stream. This is an educational and request live stream for technical analysis charts. Today is Sunday, October 22nd, 2023, just after 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This week, we have stock earnings. And keep in mind, this stream is half stocks, half crypto. The first half is stocks. This week, we are entering into big tech company earnings. All the big tech companies, Microsoft, Alphabet, Google, Meta, previously Facebook, Amazon, Intel. We also have some additional finance companies. We have MasterCard, Visa, and we have some automobile, General Electric, General Motors as well. So there are a lot of companies reporting this week, so I'm expecting some kind of volatility, especially in the tech sector, maybe in the Dow Jones as well with some of the airlines. We have US Steel and ExxonMobil as well. Also, this week for economic data releases, we have the advanced GDP, which is a data marker point about the economic growth of the USA. We also have the core PCE price index. This data is inflation data, but it excludes food and energy data as well. These two numbers, the FOMC Federal Reserve are closely watching, and this informs part of their decision in the interest rate decision-making process of either increasing or decreasing. So the rumor is on the internet and on the street, so to speak, is that we're anticipating possibly the interest rates are going to be hold in November, but things can change. That's what I'm seeing in a lot of news articles on CNBC. So we also have manufacturing services PMI data, unemployment claims, and consumer sentiment as well. Wrapping out the news, we have the USA stock market earnings season this week as well, the USA SEC for crypto. This is what kind of helped the crypto market rally as well. The SEC dropped legal charges against two Ripple Labs co-founders. Ripple Labs creates XRP token, Ripple coin. So that's a big win in terms of crypto sentiment. However, on the flip side of that, the New York Attorney General sued the crypto firms Gemini, DCG, and Genesis for quote-unquote fraud and basically not disclosing the risks to all crypto investors, especially in the loans side of crypto. Crypto exchange Coinbase picked Ireland for its European MiCA hub to expand across all 27 European member countries. And we're seeing the expansion into Europe. Because the USA has so much regulatory uncertainty and scrutiny and lawsuits, there is already a little bit more, actually a lot more, regulatory law framework for the EU with crypto. Binance as well signed agreements with a number of new regulated and authorized fiat money partners for European customers only at this time, because Binance has the SEC lawsuit looming over itself right now. The expansion into Europe is underway. However, in the USA, quietly, Binance USA crypto exchange last week informed customers that direct withdrawals to USD fiat money, real money, may no longer be supported in the future. And so we must convert to stable coins to withdraw our funds. This is major development. Binance USA also said that digital assets are not eligible for FDIC insurance protection, and they may change their USD custodian in the future, which is why they are telling people to convert to stable coins if they want to withdraw. So what this is saying to me, translation, is no more fiat money withdrawals in the future. Basically, they want to stop that, and they're saying, well, if all the insurance law only applies to real fiat money, so then if it's not going to apply the FDIC insurance anymore moving forward, or if they change their bank basically that holds everybody's money, we have to use stable coins. So it's kind of, we have to pick crypto, the exchanges, and the customers have to decide, Are they going to buy crypto, or are they going to withdraw their money, or are they going to just hold in stable coins? So there's a couple decisions that applies to EU, European customers as well. There's a law changing in the next year about that. Okay, welcome everybody. We're doing stocks right now on S&P 500. If you have a request, just let me know in the live chat. Now, SPY. Look at this earnings volatility. We had the bearish scenario played out, and we had in this channel, we hit the top of that resistance and just a lot of bearish, right? How did I know? How do we know that might have been was going to happen in the market? Well, we bounced off the support. If we have EMAs up, it bounced right up to the 50 EMA, and we double topped there. So there's two reasons why the market pulled back down. Earnings was not so great or mixed. We also went from a previous way over here, October 12th, overbought condition on the hourly as well, basically rejecting down and fulfilling the technical analysis of the rectangle. Now, quick little news here. TradingView changed the rectangle tool. I don't know if you saw that news, but there should be a rectangle middle point if you turn it on in the settings. So it's actually pretty helpful just to have that there sometimes, because there already is the parallel channel tool that has that ability. And so now that the rectangle has that ability, that's definitely helpful as well. So thank you, TradingView. Very, very useful. So we can even use this tool and put it on the top here to understand why did that happen, right? Just understanding we had resistance in the price and we fell back down to our support level. So just to wrap up SPY, we have our downtrending channel basically right now. And keep in mind, this could have been a previous head and shoulders pattern with the neckline, which we just tested, right? So that's bearish pattern before earnings. So now that we hit the support level here at about the 420 range, we're going to keep looking down for support. Also, this large trend line down here, which should connect to these points as such. This probably rewinds back all the way back here. So that's why we lost the significant trend line back from October 2022, and we had to close below that. That's significant. It's not random. It's not random. We had the bull test, that last test to try to save the market. Now we also had that head and shoulders resistance point. Now I would put up a Fibonacci in this case and understand that 417. This is a new support level, previous resistance. 413 as well. 400 are some of those markers. I can also pull up a pivots point, not all of them. I just use one or two and see that we lost that pivot point. So we can see the next level down is about 415. On the weekly, you can see we had the weekly head and shoulders. This is not good. This is a bearish pattern. Lost the neckline. Bears having a very fun time right now shorting the market. The downside target is 413.09. So I want to watch out for that. Okay, moving on a little bit quicker, we're going to NASDAQ. See, NASDAQ as well. We were in this kind of descending wedge. There's also a channel that can be drawn here, but we had that lower high in the price in the market as well. And we've fallen back down to support 355 area. So we just want to watch out for this. If we lose the support at this 353 area, the way downside target is way down here at 336. So hopefully that's not going to happen, but we are entering into big tech earnings. Remember, in the bigger pattern here in the upstairs pattern of the price, we went sideways. So if we lose the floor, then we know we're in trouble here in the earnings that's coming up just this week. So 353, 337, and 320 are my downside targets. The resistance is just the ceiling above here at 374. The weekly now, I need to switch to candle mode. We can also see a tightening pattern in the price that is actually descending, and we don't want that to happen as a bull. If you're a bear, I'm getting ready to actually short this thing down. There is a proposed evening star pattern. It's not quite perfect. Should have been at the top here, but it's still a shooting star into a bearish engulfing candle on a weekly. That's bearish going right into earnings. So just going to watch out for that. And we're not even oversold on the daily. We are oversold on the hourly on the H4. And so we need a good earnings news pop just to get that pop up on the price in the morning. Dow Jones as well. Again, it's important to be able to, as a technical analyst or a trader in real time, because sometimes the resistance, for example, happens after my stream. So that's why I give usually 2 scenarios, and throughout the week, I just watch or trade myself. So at my own account. Now, in terms of Dow Jones, we had this uptrending channel. We see this, and we also had a head and shoulders patterns bearish. We also had the neckline down here. So it was a psychological bullish attempt to reclaim and get back inside here, and that's not happening. We are in a 3-month downtrend, so I would not be surprised if the Dow Jones falls to 327 or even 320 over time. Now, if we do manage to survive the earnings week this week, the bullish scenario for all of these charts is if we happen to establish a higher low in the price, it'll stop and maybe we can bounce back up. Bitcoin just crossing 30,000, by the way. We'll get to that. It's always good to have alerts. I really love this new notifications feature in TradingView. It's just wonderful. It was not like that before. It used to just be a little red dot up here. So TradingView is improving the platform a lot. It's great. Thank you. So just want to watch out for those 2 scenarios in the price there. Now, very quickly, IWM. Remember, they've been inside of this long-term ascending triangle, but it's just not working right now. It's not working. We lost the floor in the support. We had a bearish head and shoulders with the neckline that's lost. We lost the support trend line. We tried to rally back into it, got rejected down by the bulls. We lost the support at 168. So small growth stocks in a downtrend right now. But if Elliott wave, if earnings are good, maybe we're in the end of this 5th wave down here. And then we could try to have a possible ABC correction, bounce back up to the upside. But if all the earnings are bad this week, it could just keep crashing all the way down to 162 or 160 and test this lower support range down here. So this is how technical analysis can help a trader or analyst make better informed decisions about the charts, about this asset, stocks, or crypto. And we're not just making random decisions. Random decisions often causes emotional reactions. So to have less emotional reaction, I have to have more of a rational, logical thinking and plan, okay, for investing. Could be a plan of action, but I need to prepare a little bit at least. So, okay. So moving on, let's go rapid fire to GLD. Gold with the weekly Morningstar pattern, and we had some nice continuation. Remember sometimes that gold is a safe haven asset and it rallies in times of fear, uncertainty, and doubt. So we had this rally continuation up, quite a bit of gap up. Next resistance level could be about 186 or 188 or 190 area. If we put up some EMAs, we are way and well above the 250 EMA as well, approaching the overbought area. So we did have a shooting star as well. So we want to just make sure that this is not actually a topping out signal here on gold and that we're not going to pull back down, because that would create a evening star bearish pattern, which might pull back. Now, at some point, I'm anticipating we usually get a pullback anywhere in this circle in the 180s. So I'm watching for that for gold. SLV silver, we did have a nice rally as well. You can kind of see the Elliott wave pattern sort of playing out here. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 5. We might be in this 5th wave and towards the end of this move. And I'm starting to see the beginnings of a MACD histogram pullback whenever that stops. So I'm watching for a red candle on silver at some time, maybe this week or this month. But it's not in the super overbought area up here, so it doesn't really, it's not flashing red at me yet. So just going to watch that as an investor. Now, copper, on the other hand, is in a downtrend. Unfortunately, anybody trying to trade copper It has been shortable, but I like to short it down from a relative high. It is at the support level down here. It is at the support level. So we just want to make sure that this is not actually going to rally to the upside with a little bit of short squeeze, because I do see MACD histogram bullish momentum building here. So something to watch out for. Quickly, US oil, it has been uptrending and we had this resistance. Let's use the nice new rectangle. Going to put it in the zone right here. In terms of the resistance zone, I can also draw the rectangle down here. Somebody could also draw trend lines, which definitely helps trend lines as such. And we can see we're kind of in a rising type of megaphone. It's not quite a parallel channel, almost like a wedge pattern. But we bounced off a support level is basically what happened, and we're up at resistance right now. There is a large MACD histogram bullish momentum. So the short-term time frames, 515 H1, looks like it might pull back after some volatility in the morning and then try to rally over time and get that upward domino effect of momentum on the daily here. So on the weekly, I don't see any very large sell signal just yet. We had that pullback and bounced off of it. So if we have a resistance problem, then it will pull back. So I'm just watching that. Natural gas as well. Natural gas, here's a great example of how not to draw your charts, but you want to clean it up and then make the analysis, right? Just want clean charts. But how I want to show this is we want to have a resistance here, resistance on the top side. And I can also lock this down here. This could just be a regular trend line. I'm using the new rectangle just for visual. But it is technically an ascending type of triangle. We had a fake out. It's actually more down here. We actually had a fake breakout. And so when I have a fake out, that's why personally I don't like to really long up here because there's so much more risk. I like to long down here or below that. And the fact is, we talked about this triple bottom, potential upside down, head and shoulders, and it rallied and it fizzled out. That's what happens with natural gas. It doesn't always respond to the technicals. I do want to watch out for this spot, 661, 636 or $6 to make sure, I'm not going to miss that bounce, or if it's going to actually go down, then we short it down even more. Okay, just quickly look at XOK because it is tech earnings week. So just remember the trend. Keep it very simple. I think it was last stream or 2 streams ago, I'm talking about how to read price trend and all that. So remember, is it going up on the daily chart? Is it going sideways or is it going down trend? Right now, we're actually, somebody could say long-term in this particular May to November box, October box, we're going sideways technically. But the real short-term is we're still in this downward sloping wedge pattern. And you can see there's a large hole down here at 158. Put up some Fibonacci's for support, Fibonacci retracement. We could see 154 and 145, even 136 if it's real bad. That 136 would be very bad in the market because that would be a considerable downtrend and almost that would become a bear market. So I don't think we're going down there in one day unless all earnings are absolute terrible. XLF, the finance sector as well. Sometimes it's good to look at these ETFs because you get a sense of what's happening. I was watching this. I might have played it if it went green for 1 or 2 days, but we lost that support level. So here, the shorts might try to attack this right here. Trying out my new alarm here for the stream. So interesting to just watch that, right? Also, XLRE, same deal. It's a very common pattern where low bounce and then downtrend right at the support. We lose that support, big trouble for XLRE, which is a sector that's already in dire trouble right now in terms of sales. All right, I don't see any requests. So I'm just going to move on to crypto. Thank you, everybody, for watching and following, supporting. This is the crypto segment in the stream. I'm streaming live on TradingView, YouTube, Twitch. We have a Twitter X group as well. And before I start, let me just adjust my alarm. Okay, so let's go ahead and go to total, TOTAL. Now, crypto, understanding the news that happened. So we had that SEC um, rescinded their lawsuit against the Ripple founders. That's green. That's a positive catalyst. And then everyone's anticipating the Bitcoin ETF in like 2 or 3 months. So that's why we went bullish. And having this alert, remember from a couple weeks ago stream, I had the upside down head and shoulders like this. And it kind of failed a little bit, but the pattern still psychologically worked, right? Just we had that delayed false start, and then it went up off of the news. So then we actually had a real upside down head and shoulders, broke the neckline. And hopefully, if this is real and we could keep the momentum up, we can go 7% to the upside, which we're almost there, 1.13 trillion or 14% to the upside, 1.21 trillion as well. Now, if we back up here, use a rectangle for this, I can kind of see the larger ascending triangle pattern. I'll draw it in the blue. Somebody can also analyze it like this. After a downtrend, that's actually a potential reversal signal. The market's anticipating the move, the potential approval of the ETF. And so that's what is the catalyst here. We had a little bit of scare. It went to 1.01 trillion and then we bounced off of that. So I'm still long crypto. I'm hoping we can get up to 1.2 trillion and then have the huge breakout out of here, a plus 60%, which would take us to almost 2 trillion market cap. So the technicals, as well as some fundamental news people I saw this month, we're all thinking that it can get up here if the lawsuit news softens and goes in favor of the crypto exchange as well. Now, I always have a backup plan for the most part where I'm charting. So just understand that if we lose certain steps on the way down, 1.05, 1.0 trillion, and this price, just like all the stock charts I showed you before with finance tech, if this loses, we test it and we go down, then I'm out of crypto. I'm not in this anymore because that will cancel everything that happened this year in the price action. Okay. So because that did not happen, I went long and added more cryptos in the past week and 2 weeks, right? Initially, just full transparency, I sold some, right? I said on last stream. And then once I saw this reversal plus the news, I'm back in, right? Crypto's like that. It's all news based right now. What happens with the SEC? I have a question from YouTube. Do I send out emails or newsletters during the week while I am trading? Unfortunately, sorry, I do not. This is an educational live stream and request for education on the charts. Fortunately, though, there are many groups out there on YouTube. I've seen many groups. I've been in them myself before. Discord groups. There's TradingView streamers. There's TradingView groups. There's TradingView live traders that I know of. YouTube live traders, YouTube groups. There's plenty of things like that you can try to sign up for. Some are free, some are paid as well. So I'm not the only one out there. But if you have requests for something, like if you're wondering about, for example, we did SPY, SPY, or Ethereum USD, just feel free to go ahead and request one in the live chat for educational analysis. Thank you for watching and following. Appreciate it. So moving on to Bitcoin USD here. Also Bitcoin, we see here that it's been in the support channel going sideways for 7 months now. So the fact that we hit that double bottom, I'm talking about this right here at 25,000, we hit that double bottom, and then we had that little upside down head and shoulders bullish positive effect, tested the really tight neckline, and launched off of that. Also, if somebody said they couldn't see that, we just put a support level. And this middle half line in the parallel channel acted as a resistance, made a higher low, high low, high low, and then boom, higher high as well. So now what I'm watching out for actually is a potential fake out. I really hope this does not happen. I really hope it doesn't, for the sake of all retail traders, because right now what we don't want to happen is a fake out rally into a head and shoulders, right? So when you see a market flip flopping, I call it, or just changing direction, or this is actually consolidation. Okay, that means there's indecision in the market. We have good news, bad news, good news, bad news, good news. So I just hope there's not another round of bad news for a week or two. Okay, so that's why. Just watching out for the resistance ceiling up here at this time. Resistance ceiling above 30,000. So I like putting that alert there. It really helps. Right, we're stuck between this rectangle as well, and then we could also see if I draw a tight trend line from the beginning of this year, we actually lost that trend line. That's why initially I sold my crypto back here in August, bought back in September and October on this little uptrend bounce. If this started declining, I would short any way I can, right? But it didn't. It held, and it went to the uptrend as well. So that's how I knew, for educational purposes, how did I know how to long again? It wasn't just looking at charts. I had the chart set up here in terms of the support level, but then I also added in the news about all the SEC, right? Every week. So resistance at 31 to 32,000 as well. Put up another pivot point or look at the left for next resistance, and we have that at 34,000, 37,000, 40,000. Hopefully we can break out of here. So I have that alert at 30 or 31,000 because I want it to break out of there, hold, and then try to get the next leg up. On the weekly as well, you can see we really need to break out of this parallel channel because it can actually set up a bearish pattern. If the next 3 months are bad, that would be very bad for the market. Could crash it if that happens. So just looking out for those setups this week. Now Ethereum USD as well. You can see. So remember, last week I was talking about the support area. Support area. Now, potential double bottom, I remember saying that on Ethereum, and it actually came true. So it's potential when the setup is there. Once I see a little bit of signs that it's starting to move up a little bit, then I might say, all right, I might enter in. And I did actually buy some Ethereum, for example. I do like this rising RSI. I like the bullish momentum here. And so you have to just really, I've spent a lot of time looking at these charts before. If I draw a vertical line right at the spot where maybe I was thinking maybe that's double bottom potential, and so I kind of have to just memorize what that setup looks like. Okay, I have a double bottom support on price. Let me look left. There is this as well, but also the next level down, so you need to watch out for that. But also I'm starting to see a little bit of signs of bullish recovery, and then if I'm not sure, I can open up an H4 chart, and there it is. There's the bullish MACD and this double bottom on RSI. And then we had that horizontal support level. So those are some ways that you can use price action, mostly like 80% price action, time frames, and then maybe sprinkle in 10 or 20% or 10% tech oscillators tools and 10% maybe extra news, right? So just to explain again in more detail is if this setup was here at this blue circle and we had bad news, I would not buy that. I would not long that. I would just wait. I would say pass and then wait for that to go lower. But thank goodness we had the bounce. So in terms of forecasting ahead, right, we have that resistance at 1735 or 1800, 1900 or 2000. Right, or 1500. So these are the kind of resistances that I'm looking at: 1700, 18, 19, and 2000. That's what I'm looking for. Okay, and 1500 as well. Okay, so this is what I'm watching out for. Right here, R1, R2, R3, and I'm hoping Ethereum can rally. I really do, because it's been in this Very slow higher low pattern. If this is the higher low right here at 1500, great. We should make a higher high at 2500. Let's get there. Let's get there. Hopefully, maybe we'll have a Christmas rally, or we have the Bitcoin happening next year. So that all makes sense to me. We are on Binance Coin. Okay, I got to speed up here. Binance Coin just rallying off that support. I'm just gonna make this one shorter. So just watch the support level, and I'm watching for a resistance at 240 and 250. There's a major legal development, it might bounce up. If there's a negative interaction, could crash down to 190 or lower. Solana had a nice bounce up. So I long Solana in the past 1 or 2 weeks. And why did I do it? Just simple. Identified ascending triangle pattern. After a long downtrend, this is it. This is it. In terms of the lowest Solana price was $10 on this chart, on this exchange. And then it's been slowly actually going up over time. So I like the support plays down here, support, support, support. Once we made this pivot point, then I knew the third time, okay, buy that support. Go in, buy it, no fear, right? Now the only thing is I need to make sure I have a reasonable stop loss. And I'm not telling anybody what to do right now. I'm just saying I have a stop loss, maybe like 10% or so. And then I'm actually targeting way up here, because if this ascending triangle comes true, Solana might rally 150% up to $75 if Bitcoin breaks 30, 40,000. So I like this. I like this going up. It's a bullish pattern. Now the question is, can it complete? It's creating its formation, but then can it finish and get up here? Could take like 6 months or a year, but I'm willing to wait as an investor 6 months to a year to make 200% gain by doing nothing. That's by making two decisions, right? So that's why I might just hold that. Just hopefully we're not going to have a fake out bearish crash, like I said earlier, and then everything is over. But if that happens, manage the risk. That's what I'm doing. Manage the risk. Cardano as well. I longed Cardano. I've been talking about this one maybe for a month now, that I like it down here. Just is cheaper. Although Cardano's on the SEC probe list in terms of what's not a security. So the SEC was kind of blocking this one. But if I'm honest with myself, I look at the price and I say, well, is it crashing right now? Is it going down a lot? Right now, actually, it's not to me, because I see a support level. Now it's in a descending triangle pattern. That's not good. That's bearish still. But I do like that it's holding the support, right? We're holding support, and we're holding a long support here. And there's also, from experience, this bullish momentum here on both of these MACD histogram. We have right here and right here pointing up. We have a bullish divergence right here in here, starting from August. And so I'm long Cardano, because if this is actually the lowest spot, one of the lowest spots of Cardano, let's say in the next year, and this could be wrong, but just one bullish idea is there's all of this up here, empty space that it could rally up to. There's all of that. So that's why even the first target is 40% up. And if you break out of there, it could go 80%. It could reverse Fibonacci to just visualize. I wanted to go up here to $1.26. It might go to $1 just on the TA. Because if we break out of this channel, it should be 90 to 180%. So 90 should be 63% to 95. And it'll probably end up going to like $1 something if it gets up there, because of traders FOMO and stuff like that. So that's why I'm getting in way early. Does this make sense? The mentality of no FOMO charts, or the mentality of technical analysis of a bullish investor, is I want to buy when this thing's down low, not down trending, but when this thing's cheap. And it's 90 something percent, it's 92% off. Okay. Hit a support level. Okay. There's no major fraud scandal on this coin. Okay. Bitcoin was rallying. Okay. And this is a top 10 coin. So then how am I not going to buy this one a little bit, unless I think it's going to go lawsuit bankrupt, right? Unless somebody knows that. Nobody knows that, right? So this is why I like this play. And keep in mind, I understand the stop loss of only like 5 or 10%. I get it. I get it. That it might crash, and that's okay. That's trading. But I would much rather enter down here than try to buy it at the top, close my eyes in my account, and then open my account 1 year later, like some investors have told me they've done that, and see that they're negative 92% down. That's not managing risk. Unfortunately, it happens to people, especially beginners, right? This is a psychology. We're just a little bit of education and how to avoid the FOMO. Okay, this is not just about Cardano. This is all stocks, all crypto, every single asset that has large volatile moves, day trading, swing trading, investing for 5 years. It's all similar psychology. So again, I always look at trend. Are we going uptrend, sideways trend, or downtrend first? And then you can draw your support lines, your support trend lines. You can draw your resistance trend lines. And it gets kind of messy, but you only really need 2 at a time. My mentor taught me you only need like 2 to 4 lines on the chart for investing. We don't need 20 lines. So it's probably too much information, right? I just need like 1, maybe 2. Because then I know once I lose this here in the blue dots, then I know something really bad is happening. And that's how you know. That's how I would know. Maybe this is actually the top and I should sell some or just get out of here because something bad is happening on the charts when you're up here. Now, people who don't know technical analysis, or maybe a beginner, or maybe they're only just trading on feelings or momentum or just whatever, standard beginner trader, sometimes they see a lot of green and then they act and react basically too late. And then they're buying at the top. So basically, once, quote unquote, the average person, whoever that is in the economy, or once everybody knows about crypto and that how Cardano went from 2 cents to $3, or Bitcoin, $6,000 to $65,000, and then that's all over the news on all social media, and everyone's talking about it. Everybody outside is talking about it. Your family's talking about it. Your friends are talking about it. The mailman outside is talking about it. The delivery workers are excited about it. Nothing against those people. I'm just saying, like, I go outside, my hairstylist is talking about it. Like, everybody's talking about it. Okay? Then I know, well, maybe we're saturated right now because everybody outside, everybody I talk to is talking about it. And then I open up a chart and then I say, wait a second. Bitcoin's at $65,000. That's how I knew personally. I sold at towards the top in that $60,000 to $65,000 range because it was too overbought. Basically, if everybody buys an asset, who is left remaining to buy? So I thought about it like that. Somebody tell me that. So I sold, I took my profit, and then when it went downtrend, right, I was hands off unless I'm able to short it or do futures, right? But I was just hands off for a long time. And once it started to turn around, the first initial fake out was here because you could see that it's downtrend, right? You draw the resistance again, draw the support, and it is in a descending wedge. And I know the pattern is usually when this breaks out, it should go bullish, but then we had SEC lawsuit, which stopped that. So we had the initial resistance, we had the initial support level. But now I can see the hesitation, consolidation of the price going sideways. Using a parallel channel, I could say, wait a second, what is going on here? Remember the trend. Are we going up, sideways, or down? It's going sideways long term for 10 months, from this blue to this blue. That's why I'm back in. Because I believe support level, yes, I like it. Discount. There is liquidity here. There are buyers here for now. The news is turning a little bit positive for past 2 weeks. Hopefully it doesn't go bearish in the next month. But I like this support down here. This is why I'm long Cardano as well. It's top 10 crypto. Hopefully it doesn't get banned from America. But right, the stop loss below for me is like 10 to 20%. a small, medium-sized amount of capital. This is just my style as an investor. And I'm anticipating this, even going to the top of this rectangle, 80% volatility. We break out of that, another 80%, maybe even more. Maybe we could go to $1 over time. That's 345% gain from where I'm starting, right? So you kind of start to see the mindset of a crypto investor. And I've been in this for 5 years, seeing the ups and downs, right? And we all lived through the insane COVID-19 pandemic volatility. We all witnessed, if you're in the market, we all witnessed major uptrend. I'm talking about, global uptrend. We witnessed a major crash in 2022, right? To 2023. And now, hopefully on crypto, is it over? Is it over? And that's the mentality I'm going into on a lot of these coins. XRP as well. XRP, remember, in terms of the ascending triangle, I drew this for I don't know how many times in months now, and we had that fake out. We had that when the first Bitcoin ETF, when Bitcoin Cash and XLM went crazy up, rally. So did XRP, and it went up, but then we double topped. We actually went to my resistance here, and then it failed back inside of the triangle. So if you know your patterns, when it gets back inside of the triangle, it's another chance at the formation. It's another chance at the formation. I like it. Again, why? Because it's not crashing, hopefully not. It's not bouncing up and down here. It's actually double bottom. Support, reversal, support play. This is why I like it. I like this. So I'm also long Ripple off of that news as well. That was kind of looming over Ripple's head, so to speak, for I don't know how many years. It's been years now. Ripple got kicked off American exchanges at one point because of that lawsuit. So the fact that it gets reversed and now we have this support play, that's why I'm back long into XRP. Back long into it. So I believe if we keep rallying, that eventually XRP can go 50% back up to this 80 cent. The market's gonna test it again. Try to go to $1 up here in terms of that was a level of liquidity before. Once it breaks out, just measure this ascending triangle, 50, 60% from the breakout. That's basically the first target. So to make it clear, maybe somebody's watching this for the first time, I do not always talk about setups like this. If it's bearish, if it's descending, if it's going down, I'm just going to call it out in terms of as truthfully as I can. It's going down. Right now, it's actually attempting to go up for a whole year. If we look at maybe zoom out sometimes to like a monthly chart, this is trying to go up. This right here. We made a support in June. Higher high, higher low, higher high, double bottom, higher low, higher high. So it's basically finding a long-term monthly higher low support floor in the price that it can hold, and we're going to try to bounce up to the next higher high after that in the price. Weekly, you could see it too as well. It's not going down. It's not even sort of going sideways, but it's going more on the uptrend, right? We're just trying to bounce off of that. Hopefully we don't have bad news for next month. And check the requests. Okay, last chance. If you have a request for crypto or stocks, just let me know the stock ticker name in the live chat, and then I'll review it. If you have a question, you can also ask me on my YouTube comments, and I sometimes check those before the stream starts. So next one. Thanks so much for the follow. I really appreciate it. Again, this is educational live stream. If you have a question or request, just feel free to ask one question. Okay, AVAX as well. Now, AVAX, sometimes we get these false starts, false alarm. So remember, when we're downtrending, the pops up is not as big as like a true uptrend. So this is down, down, and then small pop up, further down, small pop up, and then another further down. So sometimes trying to time it perfectly, technical analysis is not all about timing, but I do like the fact that it's well below 90% off. 93% discount. But AVAX is also one of those SEC flagged coins. But again, what am I seeing here on a daily? It was going downtrend, false alarm, back down, double bottom play, buy, buy, buy. Just on the pattern. One of the textbooks I've read before said, chart patterns sometimes could be approximately 60% or so, or maybe less than that. And so when I have a 60% chance plus good news, I buy because that makes it higher. It's like 70 or 80% chance we're going to get something green. That's why I put that support level. I didn't personally buy AVAX, but anybody who did, congratulations and enjoy the gains. Now I just have to watch that, right? Why? Because it's right at a resistance trend line. And again, this is that descending wedge pattern. We established a daily higher low, even a weekly higher low. This thing should blast up. This thing should rally. It should, theoretically, on charts only. Now, if the government has a USA SEC has some secret lawsuit part 2 that it's gonna bring out the rest of this year, then we're in trouble. But if the crypto exchanges keep kind of getting these small little wins every week or two, I'm anticipating some kind of reaction to the upside. Shorts might want to be careful about this, right? Short squeeze, maybe. Okay, DOT again. I'm gonna go faster on some of these altcoins. We were in a downtrend and finally double bottomed on a oversold condition. That's how we have that nice bounce up. So it's good to just draw in the resistances on the top and a support just to kind of protect yourself and understanding these levels. We have resistance as well, support as well. So now I just boxed it in. I boxed it in this way and I boxed it in horizontally as well. And I understand there's room to go here, room to move around. Dogecoin as well. Dogecoin, not my favorite setup, but I do like that it's in the zone, in the support zone. Now, why it's not my favorite setup is I would like it to actually, not me like it, but it would have been a little more comfortable if it was cheaper. But there's obviously some huge buyer liquidity here holding it right at 5 cents. Could be a miner, could be a conglomerate, could be a whale that's holding that market maker is just holding that up right above the 5 cent range. So that's why this could rally to the upside if it goes to like 7 cents and tries to go up out of that triangle. Shiba Inu. Shibu is different because Shibu is such a cheap coin, but you can see it retraced like all the way down here to 749, basically quote unquote Satoshis or less than Satoshis. I just say 762 just to understand. It's not Satoshis actually because the number is so small. This is a USDT. So basically 708. We started here. The lowest point was 586. And I do see that support level. So Dogecoin, if you can imagine, it kind of came down here and just went sideways like that. So to me, it's not as comfortable as looking at Shiba Inu chart. So I do like this potential higher low double bottom. And why I liked it is if the support holds, the target is the top of the W right here at 1,051. That's 50% up. Another 50% double that could take us to the 8.88 retrace. Okay, and then we have a trend line above. So it's not a perfect setup. I don't love this kind of setup because it's still angling down. And there is this big gap down here in terms of the support to 625. So, if I'm going to play this, gotta be a little bit careful of the support down here as an investor. And then I'm going to try to target that. So like 4-to-1, 3-to-1 play. Matic as well. Remember, kind of highlighted this for a couple of weeks now that there's potential support here on Matic. Atom, it's not quite as clear, but remember kind of just circling that the target here, if this is double bottom. So sometimes watching, my streams, I know it can get kind of boring, but when nothing's really happening or it's not going in the direction maybe you want as a trader. But what I learned is to just keep looking, keep searching, because one day it's going to come, the setup to you. Whether you're a bull or a bear, it could come 6 months, 3 months, 1 year, 5 years from now from your super perfect A+ setup that you would play in a heartbeat, right? In terms of buying or selling a heartbeat. So for me, watching this crash happen for months was kind of painful to watch, right? Or if you're holding that, definitely is painful. But the fact that we kind of just rested here and it's giving me a little bit of hope. But still, in the big picture, it's still downtrending. So I'm not super excited about it to the point where I'm thinking it's going to go to the moon. But I just like that it's right at a support level towards the bottom there with still some room to try to rally if we have good news. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. So near as well, not my favorite coin, but that doesn't actually matter in the big scheme of things. Why do I say it's not my favorite? It's not my favorite chart setup. That's what I actually mean. Because I would kind of like to see it go a little bit more horizontal and not so steep angled down. But that's what's happening right now. Not everybody's buying this. Pretty sharp descending wedge right here. And try to bounce off it like $1 and see if we can like go up to like $2 or $3 area. Litecoin after its own halving had a nice crash. Unfortunately for investors, I got out of there. How did I know? Because I draw one trend line, draw a one resistance. I'm only drawing 2 lines. Maybe I draw this resistance horizontal and maybe support here. So then when this happened in terms of the fake out rally and to $130, and I understood we are not going up, I sold my Litecoins back here, buying somewhere. It was initially here and then next position here. That's why. Just understanding support resistance trend and the news as well. But we had this nice support here in $56. I like that. This is almost some kind of upside down head and shoulders. It's kind of nice to see. So there's temporary support with a neckline. Theoretically, this should go up if the news is good. Now, I want to just inject into here. We are in stock market earnings season. So if Apple, Microsoft, Google, Meta, Facebook, Intel, if they happen to have bad earnings or mixed earnings, remember that cryptocurrency is financial technology. So that's why it reacts to finance and reacts a little bit to tech. Although this week it was inverse correlation. There was no correlation this week, but it could happen. It could happen. So even though it sounds like I'm extremely bullish on this stream, I'm also marking the support levels just in case we lose those. Once we lose $57 on Litecoin, we have a major problem. Uni holding support. Chainlink, this, like, love to see this, right? This is where sometimes you see a breakout play actually work. Link, beautiful, right? It was in this type of parallel channel going sideways. Like to actually add the parallel channel in there and draw it as well. High, low, higher, high, almost. Let's check the candle wicks. Got to be accurate here. Actually, no, it was a lower high. But there's the general psychology attempt. Still, the higher lows are holding, right? We broke out of that resistance. So this could just be, again, somebody probably said, whoa, head and shoulder, upside down head and shoulders here. Again, neckline breakout, buy, buy, buy. And all the bots are going to trigger the buy on the algorithms. So where's the next target for Litecoin? Litecoin could be 786 or 618. So $22 or $16 could be that next target. So remember the trend. Was it going up, sideways, down, or sideways? It's still angling down, but it's actually going sideways, range bound. And then we finally had that breakout. Now this might be the last good chance to buy Link. At this point in time, however, if you're a day trader, it could be kind of too high, the relative day trader FOMO. So if there's ever a pullback here, I might buy some more Link, or if it keeps breaking out nonstop, then you got to grab some of it, right? See, again, the no FOMO, the FOMO mentality is people FOMO usually late. When you're buying early, that's not FOMO. People think I'm crazy. I'm a crazy person. People thought I was crazy for buying, down here, because you're saying, are you crazy? It's crashing. You're going to lose all your money. But I understand in terms of trading is actually, no, I'm not crazy. It's called support level play. Traders do it all the time. Algorithms are programmed to buy down here. Literally programmed automatically to start buying positions on extreme volatility on oversold conditions. So as a human being, I have to train myself, practice and prepare myself to understand I'm not going to long up here. I'm going to long down here. And if you're a hodler, that's the best spot to enter, right? But if somebody's just trying to buy link in the next 5 seconds and then they start panicking if there's a pullback, because that might happen all the way back down to 880 or 761, then that could be considered FOMO, right? Chasing the gains and not having a clear plan about what are you doing? Are we day trading, swing trading, investing? What's the position size, the risk management? What's the recent news? What's the recent news on this coin? Any corporate developments? What are the developers doing? Anything changed here? You can find all of that on TradingView or Google. And so that's why combining all of those into one comprehensive basic analysis package before I make a decision. And as an investor, that's why I like it. I have some time to make a decision. For example, let's say when this was forming or when this was forming, how long is that time? It's 36 days. I had 1 month or half a month, 15 days to make one decision. That's totally possible. Same thing here with upside down and shoulders. 20 days. I had 3 weeks or 10 days to make a decision about that. So for me, I went long. I bought. And then this is the result of that. Okay. Bitcoin Cash. How much time do we have? Oh, I went over time today. Okay. Okay, there's a bunch. Sometimes the requests come in like a lot later. Sorry about that. I'll go in order here. I have a stock request and a crypto request. So let me start in order. Hello. And let me go back here. Let's go to Meta. Now, remember, this is an educational live stream. This is not financial advice. This is just giving education about what do I see on the charts right now. So keep in mind, Meta has earnings in 3 days from now. So for me, I don't play earnings without knowing the data. At least I want to see the information and the data. What am I talking about? If you have a paid account here on TradingView, there's this financial data. You can also get it from a different website, but it's here in a nice package. All of this data, I want to see this first. What's the next numbers? But I'm not the most aggressive earnings trader because personally, I don't like when I'm trading, I try to reduce the variables that are not under my control. So this corporate earnings are not under my control. That's why I don't play it as aggressively as like a different type of technical setup or something like that. So just understanding that first. Now on the TA, technical analysis, we have a resistance up here. We just rejected down from that resistance, and there is a support trend line as well. Now, you might say it's ascending triangle, maybe, but look how far, let's look how far the unstoppable Facebook Meta revived itself. There's a revival in the price for almost a year now. Incredible run, 237% to the upside. But that resistance up here at 329, some traders, they just sold off on that. So I will give 2 targets, and a lot of options traders play like this. They use certain strategy where you have more protection, right? Because if you just kind of and you could, a trader could do whatever they want, but just managing risk. So what's the target up here? The target could be 330. Let's say Facebook has positive earnings. Target right here, 330. Measure the ascending triangle for the next target, 16%. That's way up here, 383. Pivots for some intermediate targets. Change this to traditional. You can see it's all right here. The algorithms already have this calculated. They're targeting this on their back end secretly. 339, 352, 365. So it's just a matter of the earnings print. So last time they had good earnings. So even with good earnings, the market could still pull back. That's why I'm not, sometimes I don't play earnings so hard. I'll play earnings when it's way down here, right? When it's very crashed, but the market's, hold on, lost my chart. Click some random button there. Okay, so, right, I'll play earnings season when we're kind of having like a broad market turnaround. But right now, just the way we are in the market, if you go to NASDAQ, right, we're way high. We're so high up here and it's about, it wants to crash. This is literally a descending triangle resistance pattern. If you asked me the same question 1 year ago, it's a different story because we're coming out of a crash, going into a rally. Somebody asked me that a year ago. On same thing, Meta and Netflix. But now we're at the top here with the potential pullback right at the bottom here. So all I can give is targets and the potential trend and the reaction afterwards. So the downside targets as well are 301, 288, 282, and 276. So in terms of that can gap down or gap up overnight in the post-market trading as well. So just going to mark those. But one thing to note is because we're in this ascending triangle pattern, once I lose that price here below 309, then I know, oh, this is probably going down if it does that. If it drops down, has a green day, I'll try to zoom in. If it drops down, has a green day, and we're not going back up, and then I know to short that. I know to short that. Given the market conditions, QQQ is weak. It might fall this year. Meta's right at the support level, literally just bounced off it on Friday. So that's why. Now the bullish, if they have just super blowout earnings, positive EPS, net revenue, some new AI technology, this could obviously go straight to the top here. So that's that kind of long-winded answer, hopefully. But I cannot comment on any company earnings because nobody knows that data. Okay, BTC, Bitcoin. So this person is asking, I just went long on BTC. Do you think it will hit $32,000? I'm pretty new to trading. Okay, this is a pretty loaded question. So first off, I'll say welcome. And again, this is just an educational live stream. I cannot tell people what to do. I cannot advise anybody what to do with their money or their account or their charts legally. So this is just for educational only, mostly looking at the chart pattern setup. Now, I can give what's called just what's happening at the present moment, okay, or the past at least. So Bitcoin, I'll mark where we started this year, 2023, January 1st or 2nd, right? If I look at it this way, we were going up. And keep in mind, what supersedes all these charts, what's higher than the charts? The SEC, okay? The SEC, Securities Exchange Commission here in America, USA, that has been suing Coinbase crypto exchange, suing Binance. So that's something to be very, very cognizant and aware of as a new person, as a trader, because whatever they do affects crypto. The only reason we're going up is because we had these small little court wins, basically, that the SEC had to back off like 1, 2, or 3 steps. That's why all the bulls were going long right now, or we were going long. But understand that, right? It depends on the time frame. If I bought right now and I'm thinking to hold it for 5 years, it's a different story. What time frame am I doing? Am I trying to scalp and sell it in 5 minutes from now? Am I trying to hold it for 2 weeks? Am I trying to hold it for 1 year or 3 months? That's your decision. That's your decision, right? So I cannot comment on that at all. You have to kind of learn that and decide that for yourself and your style, your account. All I could say is manage risk, right? Please manage risk. And, a lot of my mentors, they always say on Wall Street, they say, don't blow up your account. Don't go bankrupt. Don't make a mistake where you're going to lose all your money in one trade. Now, on the resistance, this temporary ceiling is 31,700. Okay, that's the highest spot, basically close we went to this year. And we do have a potential ascending triangle pattern, which is supposed to go bullish. Hopefully the SEC doesn't sue more people. If that happens, maybe we might get this 50%. And this is, I'm talking the super bullish case right now. We might go to $47,000, $50,000 Bitcoin. Maybe a year from now. It takes a long time to get up there. But at least if you're trying to, I guess if your target is 32,000 up here, if my target was up here, it might get up there. But you have to understand, on the way up there, to try to, because it's a battle, try to get up to 32,000, we might come down a little bit, right? If you just kind of analyze the market, is that what kind of goes up in waves, and when it goes down, it kind of goes down in waves. So it's relative at the time and date you ask me the question, right? So just hopefully understanding that it can get up there. But if it doesn't, so I gave you the bullish, the green scenario. Now I'm going to give you the opposite scenario, so we're prepared for both options. If it goes up, I know what to do. If it goes down, now I'm thinking about what to do. So if it goes up and doesn't break out and it comes back down, it could go all the way down to $28,000 Bitcoin, or $26,000 or $25,000 Bitcoin. And then the question becomes, what am I going to do if that happens? What's my risk tolerance? So it might be kind of too long for me to explain everything to you right now. I would say maybe watch my previous streams or other traders, or there's always Google, etc. But trading without managing risk is gambling, and gamblers always lose most of the time, right? So gambling, that's why people don't gamble. Like the average person doesn't gamble, right? Trading, I'll just wrap it up with this question. Hopefully it goes in your direction. But 90% of beginner traders lose 90% of their money in 90 days. There's that famous quote in trading. So please be careful, manage risk. And if you want to practice more, that's what I always tell people. If you want to practice more, there's the paper trading right here. You just click the trading panel, you click paper trading, you connect it, and in 5 seconds, you have $100,000 fake paper money and an account here. You open up the order trade panel here. It changed now. It's over here. And you can practice your USD crypto trading here, buying, selling, setting up orders, and doing all your order management here. That's literally the number one way to practice trading. And then if you want to just learn and practice, if you say, well, I don't have time for that. A lot of people tell me that. I don't have time for that. I don't have time to wake up or stay in the morning, or I have work. I can't practice. Then use bar replay. At nighttime, this is the only real other option besides looking at the charts manually. You can rewind, and then you could play by play, just like you're watching TV or TiVo sports, and it's going. And then I still practice like this. Make my decision. And TradingView changed it. You can now buy and sell a quantity, and just it'll track it for you. And when you're done the session, it'll tell you like how much money you made. I think the win percentage, right? So that's why trading is not easy. So my mentors and I taught me this, and I believe this, is trading is like one of the only industries where you can face off and play against the professionals. And there's no other industry where I want to do that. I don't want to do that. I don't want to get in the boxing ring with Mike Tyson. He's going to win, right? I don't want to get in the ring with or play against a professional NFL team and just me not with, non-professional football player or whatever, any sport, insert any sport, probably going to lose, right? So it's the same thing with trading. Who's your opponent? The professionals, the billion-dollar algorithms. So that's why it's important to just protect yourself. I'm not just pointing you out. I'm talking to anybody out there. I'm talking to myself. I still need to study. I still need to practice. And those are the two tools that TradingView has blessed us with. Give it to us for free. Love TradingView. So thank you. Hopefully that answers your question, and Godspeed and good luck to you as well. Okay, we have another question. Very informative. Thanks. Do you broadcast every day or week, and at what time? Okay. So I broadcast every weekend, usually on Sundays around 6:30 p.m. Eastern time or later. Sometimes my schedule's a little fluid on that day, depending on what's going on. But I'm a trader and analyst as well, just solo, and also educator on trading via YouTube with these streams. So if you have a question or request, you can reach me in the live chat. I do have a YouTube channel, same name, No FOMO Charts, and the link is in my profile. And I can answer questions on the live chat as well, just for educational purposes. I will say there are some people want the alerts. Like I understand they want Telegram alerts or email alerts or those type like setup and stuff like that. There are paid groups that do that. They're out there, and some of them are good. All right, a lot of them are good. So that's why just kind of need to kind of divvy that up. But for the most part, it's a Stocks and Crypto live stream. And since we're here right now, if you have a chart or a question, just feel free to ask me. So thank you for following and watching. Okay, just kind of gonna wrap up soon. I don't see more questions. Let me wrap up with some bar replay. I love doing this for practice because there's no other way to practice. Because the old school way was I look at a picture, a static picture, and then make my decisions. I used to do that, right? But now that we have bar replay, even before the whole trading panel down here, I used to do it a lot. So let's say Bitcoin. Let me use a clean one. Bitcoin USD. Okay, so bar replay. That's a good question. So the paper trading, let's say I just opened TradingView and I'm popping up here into my console. So then first off, paper trading is all the way down here on the bottom side, the bottom left of the middle. And then you click paper trading and you have to kind of scroll down, connect it, and then turn that on. And paper trading is the real way to practice because you're practicing with orders, order management. Bar replay is just like a VCR tape or like a rewinding of the video. And that's at the top right of my toolbar's in the way, so I have to move it out of the way. But it's up here. And it looks like a 2 rewind arrow to the left. And once you click it, it turns into a blue bar. And then you're physically rewinding the chart on the time frame that you're on. And you just have to click on the chart. And then you rewind it to that spot. And then you have to press play down here. So you have to come back down for the controls. And you can go back, forward, play, and change the speed. You can buy or sell any quantity that you want. I would just say start with 1 or 10. And then just let it go. So I'll practice here. So let me pretend I don't know what's going on. Okay, Bitcoin. Okay. Now for me, I would say, all right, resistance. I'll do one example and I see the request. I gotta move on. It's going sideways. I do see the resistance trend line. I see support trend line as well. And so if it's here, I'm understanding this is symmetrical triangle pattern. The big move, it's sometimes over 100%. So conservative, sometimes I'll use a smaller target on the inside, so 25 to 50%. So let's say my target is 47,000. Next target down here is 29,000. And then I have to make a decision. Am I going to buy it and go long, or am I going to go short? So for the most part, beginners should only go long because short has leverage and that can amplify the losses. That's how people lose all their money. They leverage too much. They risk 100%. They're wrong 1 to 10 times, immediately bankrupt, immediately. In day trading, that can happen as fast as 30 minutes. So that's why self-control practice is extremely important in trading. And that's why I practice on paper trading a lot. I did it a lot as I was practicing studying. So let's just play this, let it go, and I'll talk to play-by-play. It's starting to go down. It's holding that support level. If it crashes, I might sell, right? I'm going to sell it because I'm anticipating it might go down more, right? This stop loss is kind of too tight, but for example, all right, it's getting closer to my target. Now I have to make a decision. That's the first support play area. Now, since it's going in the direction that I like, if it went up, I would have stopped down, sold it, and just take my small loss like a professional and walk away from the trade. Don't hold it forever. That's how people lose all their money, right? Understanding the decision-making process. Because I'm trading. I am trading right now. So then it hits my first area, and then I have to decide, all right, what am I going to do here? I can hold it down more. It might not get there. It eventually might get there. We're not sure. So I can hold it down more. I can move my stop loss up to protect my profits in this case. And then I can sell half. But since it's only one, I'll just go ahead and sell it because we're already up. Here, this is not the perfect reward to risk ratio, right? Actually, excuse me, it is actually a perfect reward to risk ratio. The percentage is crypto. So actually we're up 20% profit, and I only had about 5 to 10% stop loss. So I'm just going to immediately sell this, take my profit. It might go down later, but who cares? Just close it out. I close that out. See, it's starting to bounce up because it's starting to hit that first level. If it crashes again, I might short it again. If it goes up, I'm going to buy and long this thing. Waiting for it. Just making little baby moves here. There we go. See, the reversal. So you understand the psychology, right? I understood. If this pops up, I got to close it. It's going back down. I'm going to just eat up my profits. So, all right. But I kind of longed it too high, but for it's just an example. I'm long right now. Hopefully it doesn't crash into my stop loss. If it does, just sell it and move on. If it goes up, this is too high. If it goes up, I will like it. All right. So right there, right? So in real life, I would have closed it and then shorted right there to catch it, but it's kind of moving too fast. But you understand kind of what's going on, right? We're still up on the profits. Okay. Let's pretend that was a real stop loss, like a real stopped out. That's okay. Don't panic. Don't even look at the P&L. Look at the next setup. Understanding that it's dropping loss of support. If I'm long only, if I was short, I would have closed the position on my short, and I'm looking to enter long on one of the bounces down here, but I'm going to be patient. Wait to see a setup. Try to be as patient as possible. I see a higher low, so I'm just going to buy off that higher low. If it crashes, that's okay. And I see a support area here, right? So we hit my first target. I could sell here. But let's pretend I'm not, right? Just let it keep riding. And just breathe. If I was day trading, just patiently, maybe start to think, maybe I might sell somewhere around 24.2. Might move this up to protect my stop loss and my profits. I'm already up right now. Starting to fall down, so I'll just take my profit right there. Right? And then right before the crash, see that? You can kind of feel it and see it on the charts. I'm losing momentum. It's not going up anymore. Don't get greedy. Cut it. As a trader, right? You have to make that fast decision, and sometimes you miss the mark a little bit, but we're still up in the green. I have 2 green trades and 1 red trade. Manage the risk on the red trade, so I'm still up positive $6,737 on the day trading example, right? So now that this thing is starting to go down, okay, what am I going to do now? It's still in the downtrend, okay? It's downtrending. All right, so if this is our, because I understand trend from experience, this is my ceiling, this is my ceiling, this is my ceiling, this is my ceiling. This might not be a good example for you because I'm showing how to short right now. And beginners probably, it's actually not a great example. But just managing risk, okay? And you should practice both directions, but most of the time, a trader should practice long because most beginners can only go long. Green only, the direction of up. So if it's going to lose my support, so if I understand that, well, maybe I should have shorted right at the top there, trying to chase it down, I might lose some money, right? Because unless it crashes like that, it could reverse here. I don't know what's going on with this chart, right? So I have to give it some time. Let me just watch. I might short it if it looks like it's going to capitulate crash. But if it bounces to the upside, I'm ready to buy it at any moment. Looks like we're going to lose it. Okay, it's going down. Starting to go down on the trend. Slow down. Very quiet. Okay, starting to move towards trying to get clean. Up. Are we going to lose it? Nope, just survived. Barely survived. Made sure not to touch my stop loss. I'm trying to move this to a 2-to-1 ratio. Let it go inside. It's moving around. I'm in the profit, though I'm not getting super excited. It's totally normal. We're just right at the support level right here. That's why it has to break below support for me to get excited. I might flatten if it's going to reverse on me. I do see the trend line holding on the top side. We're just about to lose this descending triangle. Will it fail? Yes or no? Starting to edge down. But it's holding the support. So buy, I'm switching. I'm going long. We had a bullish breakout. So see, all right, let me pause here. So essentially I was going short. Actually, I might not have flattened that correctly on this console, but I canceled my short, took the profit, and then I might have had a small loss, but then I initiated a long because, and it could be wrong, but I like this setup in terms of just playing the support. If this is real life, I would have bought it lower, but just, you know, quick and easy example. And again, I'm not thinking about my P&L right now, but I like this. This was the upside down head and shoulders with a neckline. And so this is risky because if I long here and it crashes, I'm going to stop out and that's okay. It's just another trade. But if this is a double bottom, then it's going to try to fizzle out and fight down here and it should maybe have a big pop up. That's why as a long, it's better to buy towards the bottom, right? If I bought up here, I'm in hot water. I have tons of losses when it comes down here as a trader. If I make that mistake 50 times, I'm bankrupt. Make that mistake 100 times, you're bankrupt. That's why in trading, cannot make too many mistakes. I could only make like 1 or 2 mistakes per day, like big mistakes. Or actually, not big mistakes, like small mistakes. I try to make 1 or 2 little small mistakes and then have 4, 5, 6 big successes, home runs in the market, or second base hit, single hit, second base hit in a baseball analogy. I'm not trying to home run every time because I'll strike out. There's low chance of doing that, right? So right here, if I long this and I'm wrong, oh well, who cares, right? It's just another trade. So I'm still long. For this example, let me just flatten so we can start over and go here and see if that's true. So that did not work. That did not work, right? So flatten that out. That would have been really, that would have been a considerable loss. But now that it's crashing, right? Understand which direction I'm going. This is not the perfect place to short, but remember I was saying the support level right here. But for the sake of this stream, let's just try to chase the short a little bit. See if we're going to keep going down or not. This is like real life, right? Sometimes you don't get perfect fills. Sometimes it doesn't go in your direction. Sometimes some days you're just wrong, right? Depending on the TA and if I'm getting in the spot that's working or not. Will it go down this much? 40? No, it's not going to go down 40%. I'm supposed to go down maybe 2 or 2-to-1 play. But I'm already, right? It's hitting a bottom here. And I don't like that it's not going down anymore. So this is real. If I have to take a small loss in day trading, take the loss, right? Just flatten it, take the loss, move on. Okay, move on, wait for the next long setup. If it crashes like this, I'm going to short it. If it holds and reverses to the upside, I'm going to long it. So I like the support. See if there's a support here holding the price. I like it. It's not going down anymore. Okay, I might buy another one. Sometimes, you know, it's not the perfect fill. It'll pull back on me. But I like that there's like this support and upside down head and shoulders type of effect. So hopefully it doesn't do that and crash down on me. I have a safety sell here at 15. Edging to the side. It's kind of hard to see the price now. But now you can see we made a higher low. So I'm like, all right, I'm going long, going long. Oh, whoa, right? Hit my target, just get out. Don't get greedy. Flatten, just sell, right? So in this particular example, right? And then in the end profit, we made $14,190. And I had more wins than I had losses. My losses were controlled and small. I did not have negative $10,000 loss because I controlled the losses, right? So even if I was, like I said, sometimes somebody could say, no FOMO charts, you did it wrong. Well, okay, maybe I had a couple missed trades, but in the end, what's my net profit? How many winning trades did I have compared to losing trades? How many in the losing trades did I control my risk? Did I let it go out of hand? Did I lose my whole account? Did I leverage the wrong way? No, right? So that's a typical trading day with maybe not the perfect start in the setups, right? Getting up to speed in terms of the direction. But that's basically, and then we have to end this, right? Win rate of 50%, that's kind of below average for me. Usually it's 60, 70, sometimes up to 80. But right, best trade is $8,700, profit in cash $14,000, fake money. So this is not a perfect example, but basically that's how you want to practice, okay? Make your mistakes with paper money, okay? Make your mistakes with paper money. Make your mistakes here where all you're doing is practicing and putting in time and you're not losing any USD. No money risked at all. You're wasting, you're spending time or you're spending energy, but you're not losing your money that you need for your principal capital. And I'm not just talking to one person, I'm talking to everybody and myself, right? So, right, if we kept playing this, I guess, support plays, right? But you kind of understand that even if I had a 50% win rate, but I managed my risk very tight, they're only like $300, $200, $500 losses. But when I won big, right? And then I actually had to buy another position, right? But then had a nice win, nice big win. And then that made up for all that small $200, $500, $1,000. We were down almost $3,000 at one point. I was watching it, right? So if somebody want that sum total is, well, maybe this guy had at one point negative $3,000 realized loss, but then at the end of the day, I walked away with positive $14,000 profit. So the net win for that day was plus, if somebody really wants to think about it like this, plus $11,000 win, right? So that's why these numbers can scale down or up. Right, big pros, they're playing with the hundreds of thousands of dollars or $10,000, or algorithms might be doing $1 million, right? But then when people start out, it's probably just like $10 to start off with that, right? $10 or $50. That's how I started. People taught me about that. They say, don't try to make $50,000 in one day. You're probably going to lose it all in 3 days. People taught me, my mentors taught me, try to start with like $10, $5 on paper money, right? Or then graduate to $20 target with a $10 risk. And you keep amplifying it and you keep scaling up, and then or 40-20, right? 2 to 1. And then you'll at a certain point, it'll get too big for you, you know what I'm saying? And then you'll understand like, oh, I gotta look at the chart, and then I'm saying, oh, I missed that resistance. Maybe I played this wrong because it was actually a support play. Like if I could review my own trade, I would say, yeah, I kind of played this wrong. Where, yeah, that was a support play, but it's still a descending triangle, right? So if I drew the trend line and waited a little bit longer, I would have known, don't long this, short it down. And this one I did correctly, right? Identified a double bottom with a trend line breakout. Once we broke the W, that's why I bought another one. And I understand it was going to go up and walk away winner. Right? That's a very long-winded example. It's real world, though, of what can happen. And for me, because my win rate is 50 to 70% average, 60, 70%, That's why I'm able to like basically, if I make a small mistake or two, it's okay, no problem, right? But if somebody, let's say, is a beginner, but like tries to go long, like we're trying to buy up here, and then every single trade is wrong. Do you kind of get what I'm saying? Every single trade is wrong. That's how people lose negative 50%. Or unfortunately, this one guy talked to me. He said he bought Dogecoin at the top and held it all the way down. He lost negative 90% in his investment, right? That's almost the worst case scenario. The worst case lower than that is going bankrupt, like FTX or Luna, losing it all. So understanding that crypto is not easy. Sometimes it's not fun. It's extremely risky. You could lose some or all of your money that you put in a crypto exchange. The exchange can go bankrupt. The crypto you're holding can go bankrupt. Your internet connection can go out. You can lose power. There could be lag. There can be the order is not, there's lag on the exchange because there's too many orders and then everything goes wrong. That's happened to me, right? All those things have happened to me. So there's a lot of danger in the market. And why am I explaining it like this is because I'm just trying to help somebody. You know what I mean? I'm trying to help like anybody who has a question, because things can be extremely dangerous and risky out there. So hopefully that was like a little tutorial class for about 30 minutes. Beginning trading, beginner to intermediate to a little bit of advanced trading and technical analysis charts. And for me, not every day is like perfect, right? Sometimes, like you saw in my example, maybe I took 1 or 2 extra trades that I shouldn't have done. And maybe if I was just patient a little bit for like 10 more seconds, 1 more minute, and just waiting for it. So that's why just understanding that process. Hopefully that helps everybody. Okay, let's do. We have. I see your examples here. I will. Let's do them. So we have a bunch of requests. I think these are all stocks. So please understand that we're heading into earnings season right now. Stock earnings season, and we're in big tech right now. So anything in the NASDAQ can be very volatile this week. So let's start off with EXR. These are not recommendations. These are a educational chart request from somebody on TradingView, my longtime followers. So here we go. EXR. EXR is in a downtrend, been in a downtrend for almost 2 years, going down right here, right? And it's obviously, I could tell we're here in the downtrend with the EMAs going down. Now, the problem is, remember, just like my Bitcoin trading example, sometimes if I buy a short and it's too low already, there could be some kind of risk, increased risk, right? Because if I want to short, maybe I should have shorted it here at the ceiling, and then we're in all this magnificent profit down here. And again, I'm not a big earnings trader for stocks. Like maybe options, I'll do that. But for earnings, remember we obviously have to wait for the earnings data release to come out. But you know, it's at a support right now. So if they happen to have good earnings, right, maybe they'll have horrific earnings. You never know. But if we lose the support, it could probably go down, and then we could try to Fibonacci this to see where it's going to go down to. All right, so when we Fibonacci, we get some $97 or $81 or $71 or $65 support levels. Right? Underneath here. So you just kind of want to watch out for that. So what's that target? Let's just pretend if I was going to short this like 5% downside, so 10%, there's a 2-to-1 there. But if they have good earnings, right, the top side target would be some of these EMAs like 124 or 20%, 131, right? So just kind of understanding that. And again, this is a very like much smaller company. Volume's only 1 million. That's very small. So kind of want to please be careful of that. Sometimes there's just not enough liquidity to play certain stocks, but that's just me. IRDM, or the next one, DAR. DAR, I see what you're trying to do here, trying to play a lot of these downtrending ones. So a resistance on top, support on the bottom. It already lost, so it got rejected down here once, and we lost that support. It's already getting a little bit oversold here with some bullish momentum. See what's going to happen on their earnings. Again, 3 million, so it looks like you're playing the smaller caps in the NYSE. So again, I would Fibonacci this to see where we're going to go. Okay, so it might go into 618, $38. Might need some extra pivot points here. We'll add some of those on. I guess they changed it. Might have to make my own custom pivot point because sometimes I like getting pivots 6 through 10. But either way, $35 can be that downside target. So it's kind of good. The only thing good I'm saying if somebody's trying to short this is what it did reject here. So maybe there could be more follow through to the downside. Right, more follow through to the downside. Okay. IEX. Interesting. Indian Energy Exchange. Another small cap volume. This was a little tricky. Let's see if this one's actually tracking the SenseX or the Nifty. Let's compare. Bring up SenseX. Turn this off. Not really. A little bit. I would say in the past, there's a correlation here in the past 1 month. Here, this is the Indian Stock Exchange up here. So you can see that it already dropped. So might want to keep an eye on that, on the orange up here, the SenseX or the Nifty 50, because we did have a double top here and higher high. I mean, we had these two, right? Lower low right here. And we're trying to get this support here. So I would play this as well. It's just kind of lost this trend line. And right before earnings. So again, if it's about to slip and lose the earnings, reject it, go down, I might go short on this one. If I was going to play it, but it's this. I don't really play the smaller, the cap companies, but just a personal preference of mine. But easily watching for that play. So it might not crash like this. Okay, this is more before earnings. It's more just like a regular. It's like one of these where it's going up and then we lost the support line. And then see, it happens a lot. It's a common pattern that occurs. You have a trend line. It's going up, but it loses the support. Capitulation dump down. You might get a V-shaped recovery because it's so oversold. The algorithms buy it back. And then the bulls try to push it back up and you get a rejection and it'll go back down. So that's the kind of setup I'm looking at on this one. If it manages to have miracle earnings and it's great, I would maybe long that setup right here and then target the top of here, which is $141. Just kind of looking there. Okay, IRDM, another one of these shorted down, pretty incredible. You're finding these charts. Here's a perfect example, right? If I draw one trend line, I would know to short here instead of here, right? Because it's just like that Bitcoin example. If I don't catch the short high enough, it might not capitulate flash crash on me because if it gets down here and they have good earnings or good news, it's actually higher chance it's going to reverse and flip around. So That's why I don't really chase shorts too much when it's already low like this. This looks like a deep retrace like 786 or 0.88. 786 right there on the dot, right? Edging, moving towards 0.88. So that's why it's already deeply down here. But again, because this is such a small company, I wouldn't be surprised in the NASDAQ. It's a $1 million volume trader. So this is pretty small, very small company. And if you're trying to short it down, then that target down is 35, or down here 32 or 30 itself. I pull up volume profile. We can see it had a nice run. I mean, it tried February 2022 to get way up here into the upside, and then it had a capitulation crash. This one, though, like I said, because it's been down so much, negative 40%, maybe if they have any good thing happening to them at all, it could immediately retrace back up to 620, 43.70, $43. And then a short squeeze would happen. And then that's how somebody might lose money there in case that happens. Next one, BMO. And this is going to be the last one. I went way over today. I did like 2 streams in one today. But BMO, let's see here. It's going downtrend, but still it's going sideways. Okay. And it's in the descending triangle pattern, which is not really the greatest, right? So resistance, 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 support, support, support level here. If this goes descending triangle to the downside, we got negative 25% to 58.33. Downside target, Fibonacci this. That's close to the 50% in the 618 retrace. So the first level target down to 74. Second target down about $62 or 61. And it is in the downtrend. Let me see. It's a Canadian company or Bank of Montreal. This is way small though. Only 825K. So there has to be some increasing volume here to kind of get big moves. We've seen it happen. And so maybe the other like bank traders are playing this, but only on certain days when there's significant volatility. Like here, when we have a very large amount of volume. Let's open up the data window. See, sometimes it gets up to like 2 million volume on big days. The biggest day ever was a 2 million. Oh, there's this big red one here. Yeah, almost 3 million volume. So you can see that the moving average, the yellow line down here, we're kind of like quiet volume right now. So it really depends on the broader market move. I do like from a short perspective. So there's 2 problems here. From a short perspective, I actually don't like it down here because it's at support. I would rather have shorted it here and then closed at the earnings. That's what you can see. Some traders did that. Then they shorted the next resistance down. It's actually at support. We're right at support. So if it doesn't have any bad news, this thing can actually bounce back up 6% to 12% to the upside here. And just want to watch out for that if that does happen. It's in between earnings, so just kind of watch out for that because when we hit the support, it was defended here 4 times essentially in this area. So this one might actually bounce up to the long side, possibly. Okay, everybody, that's going to do it for today's stream. Did a lot of education, examples, and paper trading for about 30 minutes, and covered stocks and crypto. And please remember, at the top of the beginning of my stream, I show a stocks earning calendar document, economic data, and some stock and crypto news. Very important because we're in stock trading. We are in stock trading earning season right now. So as a crypto trader, I cannot ignore the stock market right now. It's the biggest tech week. Apple, Microsoft, etc. Meta, Intel. Okay, so it's going to get a little wild here in the trading. But thank you, everybody, so much for sticking with me to the end of the stream here. Everybody is VIP. And thank you so much for watching and following. If you like my stream, if you learned something, please give me a follow on TradingView, YouTube, Twitter, X, or Twitch. And I stream usually on Sunday nights. So thank you, everybody. Hope you have a nice week, and I'll see you next weekend. Bye bye.